Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, the charismatic wrestler turned Hollywood superstar, is well known and loved by his fans around the world.
You guys know where I can find The Rock?
While he may appear larger than life on screen, is there more to him than meets the eye? Today we expose some of the untold truths about The Rock. Dwayne Johnson is one of the most influential people on the planet. He's also enormously popular on social media, with almost 400 million followers on Instagram. Polls even show that if he were to run for president, nearly half of Americans would consider voting for him. But his success has not gone without controversy, from accusations of steroid use all the way to facing lawsuits and arrests. You probably already guessed this was coming before you even clicked on the video. Someone who looks like The Rock will always raise some unavoidable questions. I mean, look at him. Despite claiming that his success is steroid-free, there have been rumors for years now. Many think that at his age, his physique cannot possibly be maintained naturally. The fact that his brand is increasingly tied to his physique, which continues to improve, has only caused the speculation to grow. Rumor has it that his biceps have their own social media accounts. Before his professional wrestling career, he was still a relatively huge guy. This doesn't seem odd, as his ancestors had huge builds as well, and they too participated in professional wrestling. Look at the size of those arms though. Clearly Johnson had genetics for this. When he took up pro wrestling, he actually lost some weight and looked softer than before. After the release of Hollywood films The Mummy Returns and The Scorpion King, Johnson seemed to progressively get smaller in the coming years. His 2006 look seemed all natural. The Rock actually addressed this in years later. He was told that in order to succeed in Hollywood, he needed to change his look. Someone who looks like he can knock your teeth out is not ideal for comedy movies. Compare all that to today, he has gained so much mass and become so shredded that he barely fits into the clothes he's wearing. This has been attributed to the increasing action roles he has taken in Hollywood since then. He's the biggest he's ever been, and this is all long after his mid-30s when testosterone levels are meant to peak. The Rock is known for his strict, protein-heavy diet. Legend has it that his sweat is actually bottled and sold as an energy drink. The number of calories he claims to consume daily seems a little too high. Similarly, his workout routine is hard to confirm. Johnson claims to train as frequently as some of the greatest bodybuilders of all time, eat as much as they did during a bulk, and do all this without gaining any fat. All totally natural in his 50s. You would be crazy not to be skeptical about this. Even Arnold Schwarzenegger is looking at the guy going, okay, what's up with that guy? Recently, Dwayne took part in an appeal for funds for the victims of the Maui wildfire with Oprah Winfrey. They both announced $10 million for the fund. Many people have found this appeal to be misleading. People are wondering why extremely wealthy celebrities, including billionaires, are asking for financial contributions from the public. It sure seems a bit suspicious. Put your hand in your own wallet for a change and make a hefty donation, eh? Or if you don't want it, send it this way. I mean, I could use it. People think celebrities like Dwayne Johnson may have hidden agendas and ulterior motives behind these appeals for funds. Another prominent celebrity, Jason Momoa, asked people to exercise caution and refrain from making donations to any unauthorized sources. He says that while he shares legitimate channels for people to donate directly, he doesn't reach out to anyone. The fund launched by Dwayne Johnson and Oprah Winfrey is called the People's Fund of Maui. It claims to be committed to providing direct financial assistance to the victims of the wildfire. It will be sustained by the $10 million initial grant from both of them and additional donations from the public. All of this is marred by Dwayne Johnson and Oprah Winfrey's alleged involvement with Maui's properties, causing a huge increase in prices for locals. The locals also complain that they have received many requests from agents seeking to buy their houses. This is where it gets interesting. Some allege that these agents are working for Hollywood elites who are steadily acquiring properties in Maui, which includes big man Maui himself.
Places and her acres remain absolutely untouched. Guys, does this sound familiar?
People see this as an attempt to have increasing influence over the island. Some even claim that these Hollywood elites may have orchestrated the wildfire itself. This seems like the perfect opportunity to ask, can you smell what The Rock is cooking? Next, let's quickly look at a highly controversial lawsuit against Dwayne Johnson. Trinessa Biggers, also known as Raka Khan, a former pro wrestling star, sought $3 billion in a lawsuit that names multiple wrestlers and entities. The Rock is one of them. Her complaint alleges that those named worked together in a conspiracy to kidnap her and her children. The lawsuit is controversial due to the sheer amount of names and entities mentioned in it.
Jesus Christ, Home Depot of all things. How did they get tossed into the mega mix? The kidnapping aisle? What happened?
At first glance, it would seem like she's accusing the whole world of being out to get her kids. Despite this, the lawsuit initially made some progress in court as she paid the fees. This also got Dwayne's legal counsel to respond and categorically denying any involvement in the alleged kidnapping. Let's go a little into Johnson's past, shall we? This recent lawsuit isn't the first time The Rock had trouble with the courts. Dwayne Johnson says that he was arrested 8 or 9 times as a teenager. Now that's a lot. Who would have thought that the People's Champion had such a troubled upbringing? You may be wondering what these were for. Turns out he was stealing and beating the crap out of people as a teenager.
Meant racking up multiple arrests for stealing and beating the shit out of people all before the age of 17. Yeah, now we're getting somewhere.
The Rock turned to petty crime, and he explains in his own words that with a group of friends in Hawaii, he would look for wealthy tourists outside designer shops to steal from. Now, everyone has a past, but it also tells you a lot about who you are as a person, especially when The Rock doesn't seem ashamed to share this with the public. Finally, let's talk about something that shows us who Dwayne is as a person today, and enlightens us on his interactions with others. The Rock met Logan Paul, and in no time they were creating content together that went viral.
He was just as cool in person as I thought he was on TV. He's awesome. Made content together, went mega viral, 70 million views, 50 million views. Linked up a couple times.
Logan Paul had a lot of good things to say about Dwayne, but this all changed after the Japan incident. Logan Paul faced a lot of backlash after sharing footage of a suicide victim in Japan. This also turned The Rock strongly against him, particularly because he was worried about his own image of being associated with someone who did something so reprehensible. He wanted Logan to delete any content that they had created together.
You know, I let down my hero, and he requested that I remove all the content we've ever done together.
He didn't even call Logan, who was told all this by a publicist. That must have hurt his ego. Now, this tells us a bit about Johnson as a person today. While it may seem understandable why he did this, one can argue that The Rock has done worse things in the past. Would he have ever risen so far if people completely stopped engaging with him due to any controversy?
That I'm gonna remember that. And if I ever become a great one day like you, I'm gonna remember this, and I'm gonna remember the way I was discarded, and again, rightfully so. But I don't think I've ever been really able to
And the way he cut off Logan seemed a bit strange. Could he have done it in a better way? People might say that after becoming a megastar in Hollywood, he has become a bit of a hypocrite, who is only concerned about his own self-image. In fact, for years now, it has been said that Dwayne has held Hollywood hostage and always fights for creative control of his movies. Let us not forget the fallout between him and Vin Diesel in the Fast and Furious franchise, as Vin felt that Dwayne was trying to take over. After saying he'd never appear in another Fast film, Black Adam was a total flop, and Dwayne was looking for his next big paycheck to make himself relevant and revitalize his image. So it should come as no surprise that, you guessed it, he made a return to the Fast and Furious franchise. Nothing changes a person mind quicker nowadays than a fat old paycheck being waved in front of your face, eh guys? It has been said for years now that although he is viewed as one of the nicest guys in Hollywood, Dwayne looks out for Dwayne and does what's best for Dwayne. And there you have it, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, an action hero, a wrestler, and a businessman. But behind the curtain, a flawed human being full of contradictions. What do you think about today's video? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you next time.